Let's go! Welcome to Bug Hunt, ladies and gentlemen! How did I get affiliated with Alveus? I've known Connor since we were kids! And also, I adore Maya! Sorry, I can't help that voice. I'm gonna stop. Allison, I got a solitary bee house a few weeks ago and saw some carpenter bees around, but today was the second day that I woke up to find carpenter bee pupa on the ground being eaten by ants. The horrors! Wonder what might be happening. You might have some ants that are fighting around and pulling the pupa out of what's happening and eating them. There could be some competition. It just happens. Naruto out of voice. Sounds like Ash Ketchum. Pokemon, gotta catch them all. I'm 26 and I have no idea what I want to do with my life. Allie, I wish I was 26. I'm past 26 and I still don't know what I want to do with my life. Oh my god, my intro to Connor was as custard. It's okay. We don't have to know anything. We don't have to know what we want to do. Hornworms are eating my tomato plant. What do? You gotta pick those suckers off and yeet them. Okay, so we're gonna start with a wolf enclosure first. I love it. Start worrying when you're mid-50s and still have the same problem. Perfect. That makes me feel great. Thank you, Merger. I'm waiting till my mid-50s. If a bug gets a crack in its exoskeleton, can it heal over time or is it just become a feature? Oftentimes, if bugs get cracks in their exoskeleton, they can be like a huge risk. If they go to molt, they will sometimes it'll get stuck there and they won't be able to take it off. And if they molt again, they'll heal completely if it's successful. But if they don't, then yeah, they'll just have kind of like a scab over time. Hi, everyone. You're invited to a bug hunt. Wait, what was it? Oh, you're invited to a picnic, a bug picnic. Please let there be bugs tonight. Please. Just think, I dedicate my life to you and you don't show up on camera. I planted milkweed for the butterflies, but slugs keep eating it. Rude, but you're still offering forage for things around, which is pretty good.
Wow.
Thanks for subscribing, Boundless Burton. Y'all, I am on the Twitch names tonight. Jammy Jams. Let's see if we see anything good. I'm so excited. Do bugs wait for it to be dark? No, we have daytime bugs and then we have nocturnal bugs. It's easier to see with the camera for the nighttime bugs because the daytime bugs are fast. Those things, yeet! What did Pete Peters clip? What is, I see my face? And what is it? Because I can't listen to it. So what is this? Do bugs have blood? And if so, what color is it? Yeah, it's called hemolymph. And it's, I mean, it's just kind of like a oozy, yellowy kind of color. It's not red because they don't have hemocells, they don't have red blood, but they have close to a red blood. Your thimble collection? Hell yeah! I love my thimble collection. What's my fave bug? Membracids. I don't have a problem with thimbles. I have perfectly enough thimbles to fit all in my tiny house of thimbles. Do bugs have organs? Yeah, bugs have organs kind of close like us. So, bugs have an open circulatory system, so everything just kind of sloshes around and all of the oxygen and things go in, they're kind of a mishmash, but they have things like liver and kidneys. They're called Malpighian tubules, and so they'll break down things. They have almost like an insect, they have an insect heart. They have insect segmented brains. They have muscles. They're very closely shaped and resemble like us more than we think. That's why what's crazy. So I always ask people, I'm like, do you know where the first pesticide came to be? I love the little desks. Thank you. We're taking notes. Bugs are like Gatorade bottles. Exactly. 100%. I'm always like, where did the first pesticide come from, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, gentle thems? Like, where did it come from? You know what it came from? War. The first pesticide, it was a derivative of mustard gas. And they were like, oh my gosh, this works really good on people. We're going to use it on bugs. And it works great on bugs. Guess what? The new pesticides we have nowadays, the older chemistries that work really good on bugs, also work really good on us and can cause nervous system issues, can make us confused, can give us those same issues. Do bugs have a feature that's seemingly useless, like the coccyx in humans? Honestly, most of a bug is really well thought out. You know, they can have different things, but so some bugs have tailbones. So there are these things called springtails or columbolins. Helen, could you find that little columbolin that you showed me earlier? So they have tailbones, but what's really cool about these things, they're called springtails. And so their tailbone will kind of like sit underneath their backside. And then when any sort of predator or anything's coming by or disturbing them, they will like pump it with blood, and the force of it makes them go "Ping!" and they spring away, which is super cool. So they're called springtails because they literally spring away. What about bug repellent that includes paraben? So that's a pyrethrin, which is a broad spectrum insecticide, but it is not a nervous system affecting agent like organophosphates or carbamate. So, like when I say the stuff that affects our nervous system, did you ever have anyone or know anyone that used Seven? Projectile erection springtails. Okay, I wasn't going to call it a projectile erection. I was going to call it a fun tailbone that fills with blood really quickly. But okay, if we're getting the message, if the thing is happening, we've accepted that is kind of what it does. But it is not the penis. It is its own little organ. It's called a furcula. It's a furcula. Just let the furcula free. Is somebody gonna match my freak? Is somebody gonna match my furcula? Because I'm springtail hopping, not the penis. I should have never brought it. A freakula! Yeah, it's called a furcula. It's with a C, though. It's like F-E-R-C-U-L-A, furcula. Allison, have you decided to go to the... I wish I could go to the flippin' bat tornado. If I was invited to the bat tornado, I'd go in a heartbeat. I'll see it one day. Hi, this is Just Nat. Thank you so much for subscribing. Y'all, look at me with the Twitch usernames today. Crystal Liquor, love the username, by the way. What exactly is diatomaceous earth and why do bugs eat it? It is the tiny broken skeletons of small sea creatures and starfish. It's like tiny little ninja stars in a bag. And what happens is when it gets on the bugs, it tears into the outside of the bug. It cuts them into pieces. It is like someone taking a little fork and clawing away all the wax on their exoskeleton. And then what happens is they can't retain their water. So we've torn up their skin. It's like death by 1,000 cuts type deal. And they'll dry out eventually and they'll die. So that's pretty much what it is. Novice said, I heard some bugs can close their airways and run away from insecticides. Is that true? Yeah. Bugs can like push air out of their spiracles, but honestly, if there's a contact insecticide, it's going to get them. Doctor, are there mites that live in our hair follicles, eyebrows, I believe, bugs, and any fun facts? We 100% have tiny little garbage collectors that live in our eyelashes. So we have mites that will live around our eyelashes. And I mean, just think, so your body secretes a whole bunch of oil and we take showers to build up that oil. But we can't necessarily get like a tiny body brush for our eyelashes. We have tiny little helpers that'll get all that gunk right at the tip of that eyelash so that we don't get styes or, like a lot of bacteria in our eyes. Just had to bring up the body bugs. Now I'm itchy. Okay, we're not talking about the body bugs. We're done. We're done. We thank the body bugs. We leave them. Were prehistoric bugs really big? Heck yeah, they were. So when there was a lot more oxygen in the environment, so think all of these bugs passively breathe. So they don't actively inhale and exhale. They don't have those types of lungs. They just kind of wait for the oxygen to, pervade to their body. And so when there was a whole bunch of oxygen in the environment, bugs were big. The only thing they were really limited by was how big their exoskeleton was. Because think you're wearing your exoskeleton on the outside of your body. I breathe less outside when because of you, Allison. Wait. That's the best thing. Ethereon, do you have a recommendation for bug sprays or is not recommendation? I definitely always recommend a bug repellent. Because one, insects are a big public health risk. The most deadly creature on the planet is a mosquito because of all of the diseases that they pass on, and the fact that there's so many of them. I really like, there's the tried and true things. Like if you were a DEET, you need to take a shower every night, right? You can't leave it on your skin. There's a biopesticide that's really nice. So it's a derivative chemistry of an amino acid, and it's called IR3535. And what I like about this repellent is that women who breastfeed can wear it. Children 2 months and older can wear it, where that's not the case with DEET. And so that's something to look into. I'm not going to make specific recommendations just because liability, but there are things, and also some essential oil products work really good for some people. Hey,
B0
Bob Splat
for 2
Bug,
months.
thanks for the Prime Gaming subscribe. But yeah, so I mean, there are a few different things you can try. Most things that are formulated for us, they're okay. You just need to make sure that you're always taking a shower. Yes, shower off bug repellent. We don't want to leave DEET on our skin for a long time. A lot of bugs hate mint oil, right? Yes, a lot of bugs hate essential oils. Hey, compatible. Thanks for your 30-month subscribe. So a really cool technique to reduce like pests in your garden or like around you is to use really smelly plants. Hey, Nitri, thanks for your subscription. Wait, that wasn't a word. Your subscription? Is that right? That's a word. It's like sneaky plants like alliums, like garlic, onions, thyme, oregano, parsley, cilantro, mint, lavender. Those really stinky kind of essential oil volatile plants will what's my like you don't prevent them, it just makes it more obnoxious. Hey Jenny Evie, thanks for your resubscribe. They'll deter a lot of insects. Brendan asked, what environmental benefit do mosquitoes provide? A lot, unfortunately. So it's just the female mosquitoes that bite us and draw blood meal, right? So the female will bite you and she'll take your blood away, and then she's going to go sit on a wall and she is going to work her body to excrete all of the water from that blood meal so that she just has protein. It's like that high protein milk, like that Fairlife milk. She's doing that with blood because she just needs that protein to lay eggs. And yeah, the bugs are camera shy, aren't they? 15 minutes in. And so the female mosquitoes, that's our big issue. But the male mosquitoes are actually really competent pollinators. They eat pollen, they pollinate different plants. And then the mosquitoes in their like larval stage, they live in water, and they're actually a huge food source for like small fish, minnows, tadpoles, dragonfly larvae, damselfly larvae. So they provide a lot of benefit in that way. What kind of dung beetles do you have? I've never seen one IRL. I don't personally have any live dung beetles, but I have a few. So Scarabaeidae is a flipping huge family. I mean, one of the biggest beetle families. There are so many of them. There are the traditional, dung beetles that we think about in cow patties. I mean, June bugs are in this family. The dung beetles that were worshipped in Egypt are in this family. I mean, there are so many, and they're all big, bulky, built like Tahoe, built like Escalade bugs. You meant like over here in Texas. Oops, rip. We have a lot of different scarabaeids. You know, we have a lot of different things called like chafer insects. There's also, you know, a few that just specialize with dung. There are some that, you know, are big plant pests. There's a lot of scarabs. Maybe we'll see a scorpion tonight. Cross our flippin' fingers. Could we put out mosquito protein food so they don't eat us? I wish. No, they're going to need to take our blood meal. They need blood. What's the largest bug I've ever worked with personally? By Salam Wallace. So I worked with this Malaysian jungle nymph. And so she was a female. And these bugs are insane size. Oh, look, we got an isopod. We got a bug. Oh my gosh. We got one. Hi, ISO baby pod. Hey, ISO baby girl. Sweet child, sweet heavy metal remediating, precious little aquatic gill, little dirt daubing, nature's janitor, leaf crunching, nasty munchin' baby. Marty Party, but that's not Marty. Marty Party's cousin. What's the smallest bug I've ever worked with? I've worked with these things called featherwing beetles or tilids. P-T-I-L-I-D-A-E. And these things are so tiny, you have to put them under the microscope to see them. They're quite precious. Would you keep a giant isopod as a pet if they lived on land? 100%. 100,000 million percent. Are roaches isopods? No, roaches are not isopods. They're a really old, you know, insect evolutionarily. But they're not isopods. They're in their own. So cockroaches, mantises, and termites are all related in one umbrella. Have I always liked bugs, or is it a moment at a child where you're like, yes, this is it? You are 100% correct. Wait, let me see this. What is it? It's a spider. Precious. Wait, it's honestly so cute. Wait, is it a jumping spider? Is it a jumping spider? Is it a Phidippus jumping spider? Zoom, clarify, focus. I need to see it. I need to see it. It looks so cute. We need to see it. This is going to fulfill Maya's bug hunt dreams. Enhance. It definitely is a jumping spider, just by the way it's moving, I think, in my opinion. Yes, it looks like maybe a little jumping spider. Sweet baby, I want to see you. And you're laying down a web that's going to be ruined tomorrow morning. That's so sad. We're going to get to see it. We're going to get to see it. Oh, baby. Sweet baby. I flipping love jumping spiders. They have such a big personality. Look at this honker. This baby is huge. You know the really sad thing about these, I mean, they are such hard workers. This jumping spider is going to have to rebuild this web, and is gonna, you know. Don't they look adorable? They look like puppies. Honestly, think of how big those chain links are. That's a pretty beefy jumping spider. Oh, we're gonna get to see colors. We're gonna get to see colors. Oh, my sweet baby. Oh, someone clip this. This needs to be clipped. Moment of silence in chat for the clip. Look at those iridescent chelicera. Look at its little fangalangs. They're bright blue in that red abdomen. Flipping gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh. Absolutely beautiful. This is a good one. I wish we had Sebastian here. Do these guys come in a lot of colors? Yes. Jumping spiders come in so many beautiful colors. Chelicera are basically like the fangalangs, like the teeth with straws. So instead of having like a mouth where they munch, they have like silly straws for mouths. How big can these spiders get? Is this a large one? This is a large one for a jumping spider. So the bigger jumping spiders are in the tropics where it's a lot warmer. But this is a big jumping spider for Texas. Oh, Maya's filming, so she can't even see this right now. So someone clipped it for Maya, right? She's gonna be so jealous. Is it making a web with its bum? It's making a web with, so it has silk producing, organs down at the bottom, and then it's got these things called spinnerets. And hi, Ethereon, thanks for your sub. It's got these things called spinnerets, which are basically like knitting needles at the end of its butt. And so she's producing spider silk, and then she's taking those spinnerets, which they're like, you could call them butt fingers, you could call them knitting needles. And she's taking that and she's laying down the web. And so it's actually, you can tell spiders based on what their webs look like. A lot of different spiders have very specific webs, and so you can tell who's what by what they've laid. So, you have like orb weavers, you have who do like the perfect circle. We have those grass spiders that lay those mats, like the funnel weavers have those funnels. She is absolutely gorgeous. She is precious. Peacock spiders and those with the sick mating rituals. Yes, peacock spiders are jumping spiders, and they have those sick mating rituals. They like to do a lot of showing off. What bug has the longest lifespan? Well, it depends on whether you want to go for like active or like dormancy, because like periodical cicadas can stay in the ground and be technically alive for 17 years. But like honeybee queens can live for 10 years over. Termite queens can live for like 10 to 20 years. It's usually those social insects that live for a really long time. Allison, is it true Black Widow's web isn't sticky, so that's how you know? I actually don't know. A lot of webs are sticky. Some they make to be smooth. But usually Black Widows hang out around the web that they spin, so you can immediately tell that it's them because they're going to be there. Is it true spiderweb material is the most strongest organic material on Earth for volume? That's another one I'm also not sure on. Well, I'm not a freaking arachnologist. I'm an entomologist, right? Get Sebastian on the line. But I do know that they were researching it on, like they were researching spider silk to use like the chemistry and the physics ability to make stronger materials. Hi, Gooby Goober Goose. I'm so glad this is your first stream. Yeah, we can play in this space for a second and then go find something else. I didn't know jumping spiders made webs. I thought they went out and hunted. Some do. Some make webs. Also, everyone thinks that wolf spiders don't make webs, but some actually do. So they're not a full predatorial. Some actually do make webs. Okay, stupid question. No question is stupid. But how do spiders know where the strand of silk is sticking? Are they doing it blindly, or do they rely on their legs? So they really rely on those spinnerets on the back of their abdomen. So those almost like knitting needles or butt fingers, they know where they're placing it because they're physically taking that and they're putting it there. It's almost like having hands at the back of your abdomen that helps you put it back there. Lemon Glowworm, also a freaking amazing username. Let's go! I'm so, yeah, I mean, I call them knitting needles, but they know exactly where they're putting them. So it's kind of cool. I mean, so yeah, what's kind of funny about these, so someone talked about like the peacock jumping spiders. So these spiders get in a lot of dance battles for mating. Allison, I would take you more seriously if you talked an Australian accent. Just saying. I cannot do an Australian accent. Everybody, welcome back to the jumping spider. That's horrible. I'm not even doing it. That was miserable. I was having crikey, mate. Look at this little guy here. We've got, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlethems, we've got this jumping spider. As we approach, we can see. Just call me David Attenborough, and I'm not Australian. I've always heard growing up that granddaddy longlegs. Thank you, Mick. I know it's actually terrible. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I've always heard growing up that granddaddy longlegs were the most venomous spider. Do you know if that's true? So that's actually a really fun misnomer that everyone says, or like you'll hear they've got the most they're the most venomous but the tiniest mouth so they can't bite you. They're actually not a venomous, they're a detritivore, so they're a junk food eater and they don't bite people. They don't bite us. So the only time you'll see a granddaddy longleg hanging out in a web is because they've gone and they've just hitchhiked that old web and they're hanging out in it to see if they can eat anything good. My Australian accent just ruined my voice. It was really good, honestly. I think I'm a detritivore. Yeah, I am too. Crikey, mate. No, that was horrible. I'm not doing it again. I'd rather do my WWE voice. I see these little guys all over my yard. I'm pretty scared of spiders, but I always thought jumping spiders were cute. Honestly, they're quite precious. We're talking about harvestmen. Yeah, that's excellent excrement, has excellent excrement facts to lay out. Is this our guy? Yes, it is. So Phidippus genus is a huge genus of jumping spider. But that's our dude. How do you feel about jumping spiders becoming pets? I think as long as I would have a captive bred jumping spider, right? We don't want to take them out from the wild. I think they can make really unique pets and they can have a pretty good lifespan. What is this guy aiming to do specifically with this web? Well, this girl is aiming specifically to make herself a little safe habitat to hang out and then also have somewhere that she can go and eat pests and bring them in. So this isn't necessarily like a web to catch something. This is more making herself a secluded area. So jumping spiders will hang out in a lot of small areas. When Maya was doing her bug stream, thanks Sammy for your sub. She's making a little house. It's a little Polly Pocket house. So on the bug hunt stream that Maya did where she went to the pasture and in the hose reel there was that jumping spider hiding in there, the hose spider. Yeah, so they find a lot of like nook and crannies to hide in because they're opportunistic. They'll go out and try and hunt something, but they always have like a secluded place they can come back, which is pretty cool. I think the Phidippus genus is actually the biggest family or like the biggest genus of like jumping spiders. These things are insane. They're complete hunters, right? Oh, thanks for gifting the subs. She needs to turn around, please. No, she's not going to turn around. She feels safe now. She's made like her happy home. Can they bite? They could if they were provoked, but they're not necessarily going to bite us. It's actually insane. Some jumping spiders have been like found to attack like small frogs and lizards. You know how there are like bird eating tarantulas? There's a tarantula that's commonly known as a bird eater, the Theraphosa blondi. That thing is an opportunistic eater, eats whatever it can. These will also eat whatever they can, and if one sizes up and thinks that it can eat a tadpole or a fish or a frog, it'll go for it. Stupid question, but how can you figure out the sex? So we're figuring out that this is a female from like how big her abdomen is and just the act that she's making this funnel home for herself. Wait, what's happening? I'm catching up on the chat. Can jumping spiders bite? Yes. They can. They could if they wanted to. They probably will not bite us. I like funnel weaving spiders. Yes, they're precious. Allison, do you think spiders get annoyed when they have to remake their webs? They just like whatever. I mean, they're innately programmed to want to make it, but I bet you they might get annoyed eventually. They actually did some research, and I don't know the one ethics, validity, or common sense of this research, but like they gave spiders different um, brain modifying drugs like LSD and things, and then saw how messed up their webs got when they were high. Spiders on drugs make horrible webs.
People pug.
Thanks,
Wow.
Robbie Too Hottie, for the Prime subscribe. Man, I'm so good at these Twitch usernames today. That's real. That is real. Have y'all seen the Spiders on Drugs YouTube video? the cocaine spider or the crack spider? Hi, spiders. Yeah. Look at this field cricket.
Pug. Wow.
Yeah, baby. Oh, and it's not even grown up yet because it doesn't have its full-size wings. Oh yeah, it's super old. Does it have a Straussy? Because I'm not thinking so. Wait, maybe it does. Yes, it does. It has a Straussy. Straussy has been located. This is a female. She is big. She's moving. She's grooving. Hey, but we're seeing bugs tonight. That's like the best thing. Straussy question mark? Straussy is what I refer to as the ovipositor. So she has to lay eggs like in the dirt, deep in the dirt, because her eggshells don't hold moisture really well. And so she lays them in the dirt. It has to be a certain kind, but she has to poke holes into the ground. And so she can't dig perfect little holes with her legs. So she has a Straussy to do that. Said ovipositor on stream. Okay, Gorgon Ramsley. Hi, Kim Wise. Thanks for subscribing with Prime. Man, all y'all are subscribing tonight. It's kind of crazy. But so they have to take that and they have to stick it in to the soil to lay those eggs. Can bugs detect infrared light or more wavelengths than humans? Yes, bugs see completely differently than we do. Most bugs see in like the UV spectrum or like infrared or beyond. And so the flowering and like the intention for flowering of colors is really just to show a target base. They're not seeing those beautiful colors that we have. They're seeing just like, hey, there's a floral nectary resource right here. Go for it. Allison, do you know ants? I don't. Crispy R's? Do I have crispy R's? Hi, all Kimbo. What kind of bug are we looking for? Sorry, I just got here. We're looking for any kind of bugs. Not bug related, but anything embarrassing that you can link about Connor. I think he does a great job himself. No, I'm just kidding. Connor's great. I don't know. He's this exact same from high school that he is now. I feel like he hasn't changed. Other than the fact that he's become very successful and has a super cool career. Seeing them IR mean the night vision camera would spook them when it shines IR light? Not necessarily. It could potentially, but not necessarily. I love bugs too, Jan Pipko. I'm so glad. Do you guys have centipedes? Yeah, there's probably centipedes out here. Completely predaceous and predatory. High school? Yeah. Is there anything I can do to help bugs that isn't just buying flowers for pollinators? I live in an apartment, so I can't do anything too bulky, but I want to help bug friends. Yeah, there are tons of things that you could do other than planting flowers. If you can't do, pollinator installs, you could always provide, safe water sources for pollinators that might be stopping by. Although you probably, does that mean you were on the cruise ship field trip with Connor? No, I was not. Wait, what I was thinking about how to support. Look at those harvestmen. Look at those big babies. Good night. Thank you for joining. Bug hunt. Is it true bees can make alcoholic honey from overripe nectar? Not necessarily alcoholic honey. They can get kind of drunk from eating overripe nectar, but the enzymes in the honey aren't going to let really anything dig that way. Those marms are savage. The video of when the marms were first put in their enclosure and they just like tore all of those poor harvestmen to pieces. Is it safe to leave water out for bugs? I want to help them in the summer, but I don't want to encourage mosquitoes. If you leave things out for bugs, for water wise, you do have to change it every day or you will get mosquitoes developing in it. It takes them a hot minute to develop, so you have to clean a water dish every single day. And that was a wasp. Very good. Why do harvestmen clump like that? Power in numbers. Who decided on daddy is weird? Hi, daddy long legs. ADHD is hitting hard tonight. I feel like I've been kind of on it tonight. I feel like I've had a streamlined thought. What was my PhD thesis about? I don't want to talk about it. It was about termites. I was like ancestry.com for bugs. Zaddy long legs. I'm just saying. Salty Cajun said ADHD was hitting hard tonight, and I feel like I've been really put together. Is Winnie mooing? That's sad. I can't hear it. I've been locked in. Locked in. I didn't discover termite species. There is a potential that I may have found hybridization or new species, but I'm not investigating that, and someone else can have fun. Do cows eat bugs? Sometimes. So there's this crazy thing. So have I told y'all about burning my throat with bug acid when I sucked bugs up with like our entomology straws? They're called aspirators. I think I have. Yes, blister beetles. And so what's crazy is blister beetles are actually big time pests for horses. And so they can actually kill horses if they eat so many of them. So they're in hay and forages. And so if there is contaminated hay that has too many blister beetles, then the cantharidin, the poison, can actually kill them. Those aren't fireflies. Those are actually paper wasps. Yeah. So what these wasps are doing is they're building like small paper cells, and they're going to put a baby into each cell, right? That pupa. And then they're going to cap it. And then that's how they protect those wasps, by putting them in corners. You make bug hybrids. I can't make bug hybrids, but bugs can hybridize. Bugs can hybridize. They have genetics that go so quickly, and they have such fast generations. You can get hybridization. What wasps? These are paper wasps. Technically, paper wasps can be incidental pollinators sometimes. So when they're hunting and they're like going to flower, sometimes they'll accidentally pollinate when they go from like place to place. But they're not intentional pollinators. They're more predators. And so what these things are really good at doing is like reducing the spider population. And so that could be a benefit. They take out some things people could consider pests, but they're not crazy pollinators or anything. Allison, do you know about the harvestmen and their leg anatomy and how they change the way they walk and adapt to their new number of legs? Most insects just kind of adapt to the number of legs because that's what they've got, and they usually will move normally, and it isn't really a thought. Harvestmen have their second set of legs. So they have their first set of legs, and they have their second set of legs, and they're much longer than every other pair of legs. That's because they're using them like antennae. They're using them to like feel, touch, and taste. And so if they lose those front legs, then they're losing that ability. And so that can really impair how they're walking or how they're moving or anything. You know why pelecinid wasps have long, curved, fishhook-shaped abdomens? Some it's how they deliver venom. Some are shaped to be like really ergonomic to hunt in that way. It's just wasps are all different, and the variety in like body shape and way there's.
People
Hi,
pug, wow.
Winnie. Hi, Sylvira Valkyrie. Thank you for subscribing. That's the biggest bug. That was so good. That was a jump scare. Do you remember when Maya had the bug picnic set up and she was trying to spy on them and she wanted to play in the bug picnic? Look at that poor little fly. See, flies are a big thing. Flies can actually they're a big nuisance. Sometimes they can bite her, but a lot of flies feed on the lacrimal glands of cows, so they feed on like the tear ducts, because that is a perfect source for salt and water for them. You know, bugs love salt water, but they end up becoming, you know, a big problem. And sometimes flies can transmit, you know, different pathogens, and so we don't love them on our animal space. She's hanging out. Sweet baby. What do we have here? Oh, look! It turned around! Hi, baby! Oh, and look, there's a little drain fly. Wait, this is a glamour shot. This is a glamour shot. You can see it looking around. Oh my gosh, so cool. Absolutely fantastic. So good. Wait, this is so precious. Look at this little jumping spider. I'm turning my computer to look at her. Oh. Do it. Clip it for Maya. Look at these babies. Why does its eyes do that? Because it's looking, it's, you know, they can't move their eyeballs like a traditional, um, but they've got like a collection of things called ommatidia, like lights and cones, and they can, you know, focus on what they're trying to look at. So it's really just trying to focus. You think she can see the camera? I don't know. Because the camera is stationary, right? I don't know if she can necessarily see it. Again, this is Sebastian's wheelhouse, right? We need to bring Sebastian back for another spider night. Can spiders see in color like we can? Spiders can see not bugs don't see generally like we see. They don't see in that like full technicolor spectrum. Um, they see a little bit further on the spectrum. And so they can pick up like reds, but they don't pick up all the colors. Jumping spiders. See, someone asked about how can I, oh my titties. Yeah. Oh my tittia. I don't even know how to spell it. No. Here we go. Sweet Lord. Someone said, oh my titties. Yeah, there we go. Wait, didn't I? Here we go. Oh my tittia. So cool. But yeah, so bugs see a little bit differently than we see. They don't see in full color like us. A lot of the colorations that bugs pick up, they may not be able to see it. That's why bugs are so shiny. I'm so glad you're here for Bug Hunt. Bugs are shiny because it's a really great camouflage for them. So they actually don't pick up on the shiny as necessarily like we pick up. They actually have shiny because in nature, it's a little bit easier for them to hide. And these are really good for like people who are afraid of spiders. These are great intro spiders because all of their face features kind of being compacted and looking like that is, they look kind of like puppy dogs, right? They look like really good ambassadors. We can kind of give them human faces. We can humanize them a little bit. And that's a really good spider for getting over the fear of other spiders that are fast, predictable predators. Yeah, keepers are gonna have to move the chain tomorrow. She's gonna have to build another web. Yeah, they can see past what we can see. Precious. See, I'm so glad. So Silvera Valkyrie said jumping spiders are my first spiders that help me with my arachnophobia. Yeah, they're a really good introductory spider for people that are afraid. They are voracious hunters. Like I said, some of the bigger spiders in this salticid, this Phytopus genus or the salticid family, can hunt like little fish or frogs. Are their eyes wet like ours? How do they stay clean and hydrated? They don't have eyelids and they're not wet like ours. They have kind of like a lens covering. So think of like having a hard contact lens that covers and makes sure everything is safe and protected. How can I help insects in winter? I'm in Australia. So most insects in the wintertime are going to be chilling. So they'll be either in a state of diapause, which is basically like how turtles brumate or bears hibernate. They'll just kind of slow down their metabolic activity. But some bugs may also be in like a development stage. So a lot of the times, insects will reproduce, they'll lay eggs, and then either those eggs will sit in the winter before they go and develop in the spring. So like a lot of the times bugs have to have like a certain winter, like a winter time to then hatch. Like a lot of caterpillars need that. Or they'll turn into like a larvae and then they'll grow, and in their pupal stage they'll rest. Yeah, you can see the other eyes now. How is diapause different from hibernation? So insects don't outright collect like a lot of resources or eat a lot before they go into diapause. But it's really similar. Hopefully you missed my Australian accent. No! Wait, what is it? No! I sound like a dying whale. How often do they eat? Pretty much as they can. No! Look at this sweet baby. All right. Someone put in a Cleo. No! What's that? What was it? H2O? Yes. But yeah, spiders, they're really opportunistic. They'll eat as much as they can until they're not hungry. So a lot of the times, if you keep spiders in captivity and you feed them, they'll pretty much just gorge themselves until they're not full. But if there are things left in the enclosure, then they can become pests. And look at her. So you can see the spinnerets working. So look, you see the group at the end? Those are her spinnerets. And so she's making the spider silk, and then the spinnerets are tacking it to the fence post and like laying it down. So you see how she's kind of following it and pressing it down in certain areas. So she knows exactly where she's putting that silk. With so many bugs in the world, are there any places that have bug watches when they reawaken for spring, similar in scale like the bat tornado? There are some like really gregarious bug events, like, you know, there's like the Mormon cricket exodus that got a lot. There's the periodical cicada emergence that got the news going crazy. You know, there are locusts, you know, there are plagues of locusts. There are big things. A lot of like the watching events, the tourism events don't really happen with those. They do do a lot of advertisement and like tours for synchronous firefly events, like in the Appalachians, where they have the congregations of like a couple different species and they all blink at the same time, and people pay money to go see that, and they're only around for a little bit. So there are some. She is an artist. This is a gorgeous web, and she also has a giant abdomen, so you know we can tell that, you know, she's a sweet little female. I mean, she's pretty mesmerizing. What is spiderweb made of? It's like it's a protein. Is it true that net catching spiders' retinal membranes get destroyed and regenerate every day? I don't know. That's a Sebastian question, and I'll totally ask him. I've heard we shouldn't rake the leaves in fall because the insects and bees need them for shelter. I'm in Minnesota. Yeah, there are a lot of things like, so I've said Sebastian's like name 8 times tonight, but he works for Xerxes, which is a pollinator conservation group, and they have like some of these campaigns, like, and a lot of other groups do, called like leave the leaf campaigns, where they tell you to leave the leaves or the sticks and the reeds. And a lot of the times it's because they are, oh, look, I wonder if that little drain fly, oh, there's a little, she was like, excuse me? She was feeling around. She was trying to see.
People pog, wow.
Hi, Bensicor. Thanks for the resub on Bug Hunt. She's gonna love the clips though. Anyways, no, I started with Xerxes, the Leave the Leaf campaigns, because a lot of different moths and caterpillars would actually make their cocoons and roll them up in those dead leaves, or some bees will live in like hollow sticks and reeds. And so leaving all of that stuff on the ground is really the best. Bugs use it for a lot of suitable habitat. And so it is a really good idea. Wait, did I lose the streak of pronouncing names correctly? Is it not Bensicor? Ben Ascor. Damn it. I tried. She's feeling around for this little moth. I tried my best. Oh, Life with Rebecca. Let me repeat. If the ads are over. So it's really important to kind of leave all the leaf litter and the sticks and stuff on the ground, because bugs use it as like really good habitat building materials. I know we have the Purple Martin Conservation Association that hangs out in here. They, you know, Purple Martins also use it for nesting materials. So a lot of different animals and bugs will use sticks and leaves and reeds, but sometimes bugs will like roll up and put their pupal casing in them. So you could be throwing away moths that are developing or butterflies that are developing, and also different solitary bees live in there. Wait, I'm sorry if I got your name wrong, Ben Narukor. I tried. Okay. Why are they called fish flies if they don't look like fish and they taste like it? Because they live in aquatic environments. Hey, look, we got the Purple Martin Conservation. Ben Azcor, Latin verb Renazacor, but with a B, because Ben. I feel like I was close. I put my leaves around the tree in my yard in fall. HOA. Oh, evil. HOA. Nar. Okay, that's pretty rich. Also, decomposers do go crazy for fallen leaves. This is a jumping spider. So this is a jumping spider in the genus Phytopus. These are salticids. And so these are our little jumpy boys. Really active, charismatic predators. The adults will get in like dance battles for mating. So like the men will show off with like different showy features, maybe their abdomens. They'll do a lot of almost like peacocking like birds do. And there are peacock spiders that do that. But this one's trying to build herself a little habitat to protect herself at night, right? So a lot of these kind of hide. Why are only some eyes reflective? Is that due to eye sets having different purposes? Yeah, so some eyes are like simple light sensing eyes called like ocelli, and these just detect shadow, so they can kind of see what's going on, and they may not be that collection of compound eyes that'll reflect. Yeah. And she is, I mean, she is productive. Are there spiders that are supposed to invade the Northeast? Something to worry about? No. So that is like a sensationalized news headline. Joro spiders, which is what Capo Matcha is referring to, have been in the U.S. since 2010. And this is where we get into this big nuisance versus invasive species coming in. They've been here. They've established. There's a lot of news titles that are like, palm-sized parachuting spiders flying from the sky, venomous. They'll attack you. They're actually very shy. So when those spiders are disturbed, they're actually, look at all those harvests. Incredible. When Joro spiders are disturbed, they'll actually be still for like up to an hour at a time. And what's also cool, and the only reason that the news is bringing them up is because they thrive in urban environments. And so in Asia, where Joro spiders are from, they live in the telephone poles. They go up in the air and they live in telephone poles and they live at the top. And so the only reason the news is referring to them is because people are going to see them in their daily lives. Something cool about the Joro spiders, they start out really tiny and they're at our eye level right now. But as it gets warmer and they get bigger, so they are big spiders, you know, they're big orb weavers. They actually move up in the tree canopy. So they'll move up and up and up until when they're at their biggest adult size, they're usually not in our way. Um, and, you know, there's not really published literature on whether they displace native spiders or spiders that have been here. So jury's out, but they're not as crazy as the news is making them look. Link pearls. I find a lot of non-native but not super invasive bugs around my house. Is it okay to bring them outside? I mean, if they're not insects that have been brought in through travel, generally they're probably established. So established is they're not native, but they've been here and they're not causing a big problem. And, you know, if they're established, it's totally fine. Are there any types of spiders that we should be worried about? I mean, there are spiders that are public health risks. You know, there are, you know, spiders where like Lactrodectus, so, you know, Black Widow venom is meh. We're so good with our anti-venoms that, you know, they're not as big of a risk as they were in the past. You know, we've got things like brown recluses, but I swear most people who think they have a brown recluse usually don't. Unless you do send me a picture, I'd love to use it for class. There are some spiders with health risks, but most of them are generally fine. What do spiders die of? Predation, being eaten by birds or other little things. People predation, people killing them. It's really hard to kill a spider with pesticides because they're really fast and they don't go where pesticides are. So they don't get in contact with them. Birds will eat a lot of them. Other spiders will eat other spiders. I mean, there are a few different things. Old age, the bottom of a shoe. I had a client who called and asked if she should shoot a spider in her home. And I asked her, please do not discharge a weapon in your own home. Why do huntsmen group up like that? I'm not really sure of like the name of the behavior, but it's just kind of like a power in numbers. Yes. Shoot. Yes. Dramatic. I said a shoe will work just fine. With a shotgun. Yes. I was like, a shoe will work just fine. But you know, Allison, can I shoot? No. Would spiders be affected by biomagnification if their prey gets poisoned, or do they die too fast before getting eaten? I don't know I don't think it would biomagnify, but if spiders eat prey that have been contaminated with contact insecticides, it will cause them bad effects, or it could kill them. As far as if it would pass it to other animals, the pesticides that we have available nowadays probably wouldn't be active that long to have a serious effect up the line. It's just we would be missing those food items that the animals would actually eat. Do I have a favorite type of bug? Yes, I love membracids. They're this type of plant hopper, and they have funny type of hats for heads. Y'all, I have torn my voice up with I've been going. Do you know what time it is? Do you know what time? Oh no! Oh no! It's 10! Don't do this to us! No! Don't do it! No! I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I think this was a pretty effective bug. I mean, we saw bugs today, so I'm gonna call it a success. We saw bugs, so I'm pretty happy about it. Right? It was pretty good. I adore you all to pieces. You have to name the spider before you leave. Sally. Is Sally basic? I kind of like it. I think you're all so precious. Beautiful little star bugs in this world. You're incredible. Thank you so much to Mick. Everyone say thank you to Mick for finding the beautiful specimens tonight. It's 9 where I am, so you have another hour on the clock. Thank you. Everyone tell Maya that she slays on a regular basis. She's not here, and she's going to be so sad she missed this jumping spider, but we'll send her a clip. And I appreciate and adore you all. And I will see you next week. Goodbye. Goodbye. Next week on Bug Hunt, will we find the elusive scorpion? Who knows? Okay, I'm done actually. Bye. Good night. Bye.